Good evening, everybody. I am here even though I really don't want to be. What a market we have seen today. This is quite a time to be a Hexagon / Pulsechain fan, owner of the token, supporter of the ecosystem. I hope you're all staying strong and not falling victim to the FUD, because that's what it is. It's FUD. Unless there's one caveat to this. Unless our man Richard pulled off the greatest marketing trick in the history of crypto by having somebody file a report to the SEC in order to get a frivolous lawsuit that would bring millions upon millions of eyeballs to the attention of HEX, Pulsechain, and Pulsex just 4 days before the launch of the highest of stakes. Wouldn't that be some shit? I wouldn't put it past him. He is a marketing genius. And as a marketer myself, I was sitting in the park today. I said to myself, no way. Could he have set this all up? $12.5 million is all they want? That's a cheap commercial on TV nowadays, I'm sure. Who knows? Guess no one will ever know. But we can all be conspiracy theorists. And that's what I'm going to say. And I'm rolling with that one because I believe this is the best possible thing that can happen to the HEX Pulsechain community. The massive amount of people that are going to be watching us over the next couple months and years. And then, do you think Netflix is going to turn down the possibility of having a documentary about this guy? Nah, they're not going to turn it down. This is a great thing for us. I'm the positive guy in HEX. I'm always going to find the silver lining. And here you've got it. It's the best marketing we could ever ask for. Everybody and their brother who I haven't talked to in years about crypto is freaking messaging me, trying to rub it in my face, saying there's a lawsuit against the founder. Not lawsuit, not against HEX or Pulsechain or Pulsex. Lawsuit against the founder. And the total amount that the lawsuit goes to is $12.5 million. Did you guys know that EOS, after their massive raise, I think it was in 2017-18, they paid a penalty of $150 million with their ICO that they did? Well, they want $12.5 million from Richard. The best thing that could happen right now is that Richard does not fall into the hole of settling. The best thing that Richard can do is to fight this shit. I hope he doesn't come to New York. That would be a very terrible thing to do. Don't ever step your foot in New York if you don't have to. I'm from there. Okay? It's a cesspool. And they have their own kingdom of rules. So stay away if you can, Richard. Try to do everything from afar and don't settle. That's all I've got to say about that. Yeah, the blue moon started off with a kick. I just looked out the window a minute ago, and that full moon's up there staring at me right now. You can't quite see it. It's just outside, a little bit to the side of the building over here. Can't quite get it on my camera, but it's there. Hey, Umberto, never would have guessed that the SEC was going to be our biggest sputter, but at the same time, now everyone in crypto will know our community and how strong we are. Now we go rocket. Yeah, that's for sure. That's what I'm saying. This is the best possible marketing tactic we could have ever had. This isn't Ford back in the day when Ford had malfunctioning tires on their trucks, on their Ford Explorers, and nobody wanted to buy a Ford Explorer ever. This isn't that kind of situation. This is the kind of situation where, like, whoa, people are making money over there. Oh, this guy took a coin and went 10,000x. Oh, he's got 3, 4, 5 products now. Oh man, I want to be part of that. Think about it. CryptoBusiness says, well, you're on a roll, Randy, with predictions and money positions. Congrats. So any good strategies for the RH lawsuit? Well, I'm not coming back in with my liquid until after, originally I said September 17th, but my buddy Waters Above kind of convinced me that October might be better. So we'll see how it goes. I might just stick to my original plans, September, mid. Corey's not leaving. That's right, sir. We ain't got nowhere to go. Nobody likes us. We have our own little community. Way to go, Tom. Doug, you bought a lot? Way to go, man. I just stay on the sidelines. I thought about it. I had a pretty nice size stake in the Jeep pool on PHUX. That is the pool that's 20% PHUX, 20% PLS, 20% USDT, 20% USDC, and 20% DAI. So that was the only thing I had going on at PHUX at the time. And this morning at the lows, when it had, this is before our strategy call at 11 a.m. my time, so it had to be around 10:30. I was trying to end my stake so I can end up with, I wanted the impermanent loss to be in my favor. I actually wanted more Pulsechain, but for some reason PHUX was down at the time and I couldn't get my transaction to go through in order to end that stake. So, or end that liquidity pool. So I gave up. And by the time we finished our strategy call, I tried to get back into PHUX and the price had already gone back up considerably. So I said, no, I'm just going to leave it. And then I noticed that the APR on the Jeep pool went through the roof, and I'm earning like 275% APR right now. So I said, you know what? That's a really good APR. I'm just going to let this ride. It wasn't a lot of money, but I thought maybe I could just pull it and end up with a whole bunch of Pulsechain. Just that PHUX was down at the time and I couldn't do it. And this kind of stuff happens a lot. And when everything's red or when everything's green. So some massive news comes out and Bitcoin and Ethereum go up, 80%. Well, that's how it used to be in the old days. And then all the exchanges, you couldn't do anything. Well, the same thing happens, especially in the days that are red. For some reason, I think just because so much liquidity gets pulled, it makes it very difficult to get it in and out of positions. The thing that tipped me off this morning was one of the first things I check in the morning is Beetroot, because I'm a big fan of Beetroot. I'm a potato on the Beetroot protocol, and I want to check the price, and it was down like 40% or something. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Did Beetroot go down? And I checked further on Twitter, and then I saw the SEC lawsuit against Richard. And let me reiterate that. It's against Richard. It's not against Pulsechain. It's not against HEX. It's not against PulseX. It's not against EHEX. It is against Richard. The protocols cannot be taken down. They're out there in the wild. All we need is one person that can validate, or a few people validating around the planet. This thing is out in the wild, and I think it's pretty safe. Crypto Cashew. Funny Guru. Crypto Cashew, did I follow you on, I think it was on Twitter today again. Was that really you, or is that like a fake account? Because I thought I was already following you. Hello, Benny. Major FUD equals major opportunity. That's right. Yeah, though this right away. Everybody in the community turn face. We went about face, and we went right for the enemy. Oh God. Hello, Ted. Hey, Crypto Ewok. What's crazy is that we're all laughing at him. I might as well just read it, right? Let me go through these real quick, and then I'm going to read the actual case. Reporting for class. Thank you for all you do for community. You rock. Thank you, buddy. Best marketing tricks to popular. Yeah. Hey, Jothan. That would be a master stroke. It sure will be. But I couldn't. It's the first thing that came in mind because I know how tricky this guy plays 4D chess. Hey, Corey, thank you. Tell her I said hi. I can't do it every night though. It was starting to work on me. Hey, Mom, never panic unless you do so. And RH is strategic, always. Yeah. No panicking here. Wow, looking good, Randy. Keep going what you're doing. Thank you. Oh, I got to tell you guys, I was out when my son was doing his football practice today, soccer for North Americans. He was playing. My wife was chilling, and I was playing basketball by myself because I'm not going to roll an ankle or anything. I'm not trying to do that. I'm still way too big. And shooting hoops, first time in 23 years, and it felt great. So it's happening slowly but surely, losing this weight. My nose is tickly. Hello, Sparky. G. Wilkers, Batman. I don't think RH with that crazy stunt, but this was a known event coming with all his not streaming limited communications. Yeah. Ooh, sorry, it's been a long day. Crypto Bendo, yes. As one of the people that was on that SEC list, I was one of the influencers that was named. I never heard anything back about it, but remember, Twitter, the list that Twitter received was based on people's Twitter accounts. And I still think to this day, that's why my Twitter account is banned. And there's nothing I can do about it. They won't tell me why. All I do is ask for my 12-year account back, or actually 13-year-old account back. My Twitter account at the time was, I don't have the phone here, but my Mexico phone that we used during the pandemic, that phone is what that account is attached to. And it doesn't have an address for Panama. There's no way to reach me or anything. It was just one of my backup emails, those type of things. So I'm wondering if that's one of the reasons why they shut me down, because they had no way to contact me. Everyone else they were able to contact, but Randy, they're like, who is this guy? he's a ghost. Did I tell you this story? I think I did a couple months ago, how I ran my credit report. And my credit report came back as a 0 in the United States. I haven't been there. I haven't lived there in 13 years. And I don't have any credit cards in the US or anything. So 0. Oh, God. So funny, all the guys saying, don't worry, I get a copy and Pulse will be the best chain. Don't worry about it. You will make so much. A lot of people did. And a lot of people still are. Just because the price is down today doesn't mean that it's over. I've been at this game a long time. The FUD does not bother me. Yeah, that's some 10 chess. Yes, sir. Yeah, Jonathan, that's how this works. This gives you more opportunity. The further we go down, the easier it is to get that 10,000x. Pulsechain, Pulsechain, HEX, documentary movie. Yeah. Hey, more HEX. This week will be crazy. Yes, it will. Hello, Crypto Chillax. Crypto Companion. Punishable with a fine is legal for a fee. Thank you. I forgot how we came up with that one, but that was just I made a t-shirt out of that. Punishable with a fine is illegal for a fee. Means legal for a fee. Smash the likes. Thank you, number of things. Reggie Bone. Good to see you, sir. Numbers. But Randy, if he drags us out, isn't it another XRP nightmare than wasted time? Sure. But it's also great. Imagine this. Imagine 2 years down the line, there's a decision made, and HEX has been in the news in the forefront for 2 years. And Richard quotes are all over the news every month or two, every time that he's got to show up in court and say something. Imagine the power of the marketing of what Richard could do with his mouthpiece. That guy, he is a quote maker. He comes up with tons of quotes, and he's going to be the media's darling, especially for the crypto media. This whole thing might just turn around and bite the SEC in the ass. They picked on the wrong guy. I mean, there's plenty of other nerds that they could have gone after that didn't have the intellect that Richard has. You're playing with fire here. Seriously, I wouldn't go after Richard. It's scary. He's smarter than most of them. So he'll make him look real foolish. It's kind of like, you guys, what's Ron Paul's son's name? Dr. Ron Paul's son, the senator from Kentucky, Rand Paul. You guys remember when Rand Paul was confronting that Dr. Fraudsy on the hot seat last year in Congress? Do you remember how, if you guys, because I'm very much anti what happened during that whole thing, so I was very particularly interested in what Dr. Rand Paul would say. And he confronted Fraudsy, and he made that guy look foolish. Foolish. You could tell Rand Paul, he's just so much more intellectually capable to get his point across verbally than Dr. Fraudsy was. And it was just an absolute beatdown. Can you imagine what it would be like with Richard Hart and this Gensler guy? Richard here, Gensler here, or Richard here and one of Gensler's pawn lawyers. Richard's going to slice and dice. Seriously. Probably go hi all, 100% agree, Randy. This SEC business fire, priceless marketing, and 19 billion Pulsechain burned in the last day. Woo, it's beautiful. 12.5 million left my bad. Yeah, that's nothing. Nothing. Go to C point. Hello. What did you buy today? I didn't buy anything today. Anything. I didn't say much publicly, but my Patreon knows that I was not making any moves until after Shemitah, or not Shemitah, but Rosh Hashanah, which is on September 17th. The SEC is trying to create a chilling effect to the ecosystem like they did to XRP and not going to happen. We're not buying it. Exactly. In this case, drags on, we will miss a bull run. Tripod, you guys are coming up with a lot of speculation. To me, this is more like September of 2017 when China banned Bitcoin and the Bitcoin price went down like 30% in one day. And then the next day, the guy from JP Morgan Chase came out and said he thought Bitcoin was a fraud, and it went down another 10%. And it was just a rough patch. And then once it all got settled, 8 weeks later, Bitcoin hit an new all-time high. I think it's gonna be more like that. It's not gonna be, we won't have new all-time highs quick. It might take until spring, but I think it's gonna be more of that kind of situation. This SEC stuff, once again, it's against Richard Hart. For the numbskulls out there who just can't understand, this is not against HEX. It's not against Pulsechain. It's not against Pulsechain. We have an ecosystem that is alive and well, that is out in the wild, that cannot be stopped. They can stop Richard all they want. They could sue him for a measly $12.5 million. He could end it right away. Okay, here's your $12.5 million. I'll settle. Why does the SEC have a really high success rate? Because everybody settles against the SEC. Everyone's scared, right? If he wants to, he can settle. But do I think that's the best marketing? No. I think the best marketing is making them look foolish. And I think Richard would happily want to be the guy that makes crypto history by fighting the SEC for all of us. I hope he's that guy. I hope. I hope you're watching, Richard. I hope you're watching. I'm very bullish right now. But I'm sticking by my guns. I'm not buying anything until after September 17th. Way to go, Big Kahuna. Hex Fetty, it's our age to pay 12 million. That's pennies for him. Exactly. I sold more cheese to buy the lows. Way to go, Luke Duke. How long until this is behind us? Tom, it just happened right now. We are literally less than 12 hours since this happened. So any news from 9inch? Yes. Some big news coming tomorrow. Randy knows. I got the inside scoop. I just can't talk about it. We made it on CNBC. What a success. HEX will be a household name shortly. You guys, I'm a marketer. This is what I do. This is the best possible thing that HEX could happen to HEX and for Pulsechain. Everybody, you know how everybody knows, anybody who knows anything about crypto knows about XRP? You know why? Because they've been constantly in the headlines for the last 4 years. Well, drag it out. While they're dragging it out, we'll still just like look what XRP did in the last bull cycle. I think it went from 8 cents up to 56 cents or something like that. Not terrible. The SEC has so many details incorrect on their litigation. Would it be easy to prove them wrong? Exactly, number of things. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let me read it really quick since you guys keep commenting. Here we go. All right. SEC charges HEX founder Richard Hart with misappropriating millions of dollars of investor funds from unregistered crypto asset security offerings that raised more than $1 billion. The Securities and Exchange Commission today charged Richard Hart. Well, let me make this bigger for you guys because this is really tiny. Charged Richard Hart, aka Richard Schuler, and 3 unincorporated entities that he controls, HEX, Pulsechain, and Pulsechain, with conducting unregistered offerings of crypto asset securities that raised more than $1 billion in crypto assets from investors. The SEC also charged Hart and Pulsechain with fraud for misappropriating at least $12 million of offering to proceeds to purchase luxury goods, including sports cars, watches, and a 555-carat black diamond known as the Enigma, reportedly the largest black diamond in the world. According to the SEC's complaint, Hart began marketing HEX in 2018, claiming it was the first high-yield blockchain certificate of deposit, and began promoting HEX tokens as an investment designed to make people rich. From at least December 2019 through November 2020, Hart and HEX allegedly offered and sold HEX tokens in an unregistered offering, collecting more than 2.3 million Ethereum, including those so-called recycling transactions that enabled Hart to surreptitiously gain control of more HEX tokens. The complaint also alleges that between at least July 2021 and March 2022, Hart orchestrated 2 additional unregistered crypto asset security offerings that each raised hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto assets. As alleged, those funds were intended to support development of a supposed crypto asset network, Pulsechain, and acclaimed crypto asset trading platform Pulsex through the offerings of their native tokens, respectively PLS and PLSX. Hart also allegedly designed and marketed a so-called staking feature for HEX tokens, which he claimed would deliver returns as high as 38%. The complaint further alleges that Hart attempted to evade securities laws by calling on investors to sacrifice instead of invest crypto assets in exchange for PLS and PLSX tokens. Hart called on investors to buy crypto asset securities and offerings that he failed to register. He then defrauded those investors by spending some of their crypto assets on exorbitant luxury goods, said Eric Warner, director of the Fort Worth regional office. This action seeks to protect the investing public and hold Hart accountable for his actions. The SEC's complaint filed in U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of New York alleges that Hart, HEX, Pulsechain, and Pulsex violated the registration provisions of Section 5 of the Securities Act of 1933. The complaint also alleges that Hart and Pulsechain violated the anti-fraud provisions of the federal securities laws. The complaint seeks injunctive relief, disgorgement of ill-gotten gains, plus prejudgment interest and penalties and other equitable relief. The SEC's continuing investigation is being conducted by Jaime Marinaro, and Derek Kleinman of the Fort Worth regional office, with assistance from Jamie Housesecker. The investigation is supervised by Okay, we don't need to know that. If you are an investor in HEX, Pulsechain, or Pulsex, or you have information relating to this investigation you'd like to contact the SEC, please submit at sec.gov. Report suspected securities fraud. Sure. Sure. What a jubilee year. Definitely a pivot year. SEC trying to eliminate competition to set up bug-eating CBDCs. Yep. Following the exact pattern of what China did when they banned Bitcoin. And now they have their CBDC. I don't know, HexCat. Did you see anything? Okay. Thank you, Crypto Cashew. Cool. Rand, who at the SEC knees do we have to bust? Hey, Dixon. I just read off the names. Hey, Jeremy. Emaciated. Fire trucks. That's a rare sound in Panama, fire trucks, because everything's cement. Watch him pull out Genesis, BTC, Yeah, greater than Louis Vuitton receipts. Exactly. Watch Richard have like a crypto.com card that he uses to pay for everything, and he shows that it's Bitcoin. I got my thank me later, Stake Hex thank me later t-shirt on tonight, because right now is the time to buy Hex and stake it, not tomorrow. If you're looking to buy some Hex and stake it, and you want to get yourself a nice dolphin position or a nice squid position or a turtle, now's the time to do it. You guys, everything's on discount. And you hope he fights and he gets vindicated as not a scammer. He has the bankroll too. Yep. This is free press. Our bags will pump so hard. I can't wait until we're laughing at these idiots. Me too. Absolutely. Bought my original HEX bag, sold months ago back at 74% discount, figuring what the hell, still have profit from the sale and DIA. The PHUX backup site working fine. Okay, cool. Well, I was able to get into PHUX tonight, and at least I was able to mint my rewards. So I want to make sure that it worked this afternoon before I came on live stream. If you want to be a rat, send us the cheese. Did this SEC FUD happen on a full moon? Absolutely. Look outside right now. I don't know if you guys got clear skies. I have clear skies. We got a big full moon hanging over me tonight. The highest of stakes comes out on my birthday. Just saying. Nice. Interesting. Is the PP token affiliated with 9inch? The founder of the PP token is Hexy Bastard, and Hexy Bastard is one of the founders of 9inch. David Lee. Hex is without a doubt the worst crypto I've ever heard of. But you have heard of it. Nice. Out of dry powder after car engine failure. I am bummed. Kings Meadow. Sorry to hear that. Cars are a pain in the ass. Yes, we have a big, beautiful full moon. Liberty Guy says, Randy, Representative Tom Emer is an old friend. I like to see RH interviewed in Congress by the politicos who support crypto like Tom. Thoughts? For sure. I mean, I'm not a fan of politicians, but anything to get the word out, that would be great for us. So I say go for it. You guys, I want to ask you a question. Speaking of Cardi B, because my wife just showed me this video. You know me, I don't give a crap about celebrities or anything like this, but something that Cardi B did today, or maybe it was over the weekend, somebody threw ice at her on stage, and she took her mic and threw it back at the girl. And now she's in trouble because she threw the mic at the girl. Man, what would you do if somebody threw a whole thing of ice at you? You know, good for her for defending herself. We're getting free promotion. The prices, the cheap to buy. I see this as a win-win situation. I don't know what people are complaining about. I'm definitely not complaining. I'm a big fan of this. Because even though it's words, we all have expectations. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Coexistence, Stephen. But I have to spin it for my sanity and for the sanity and many of you. I want to find a good way to spin this into a positive. And the positive is that it's the best possible marketing that we could have. If this gets fixed quickly, this Pulsechain will be the darling of the next bull run. If this gets dragged on, it's not going to be the best situation, but for the sake of all crypto, it could be great because it just puts the spotlight on Richard nonstop. He'll just like it was with Brad Garlinghouse. Look at Brad Garlinghouse. He was traveling the world, speaking at all the conferences, and they'd always bring up the whole SEC thing. Well, Brad's moving on. Maybe it's time for Richard, a true DeFi guy, to get on stage and promote decentralized finance. I got a message from, I'm going to pull this up. I'm not going to actually tell you who it was from because that would be wrong, but I'm going to tell you what they said to me. Sorry, I'm looking on a phone, so it's kind of small here. Okay, so actually, they didn't say shit to me. All they did was send me the SEC files lawsuit against Richard Hart. And here's a person that the last time they messaged me was February 8th. So we're looking at 6 months. That was the last time they messaged me. So they sent me that. I wrote, "Laugh my ass off. Did you read it? We are laughing it off. Decentralized is going to win here. We don't need SEC permission when we do not have admin keys, a company, or an owner. Cypherpunks for the win." So this person is a CEO and founder of a company. And I have multiple that I communicate with. And this one decided that he wanted to throw it in my face because I told him his company was trash because it was centralized. I think it was probably, yeah, it was in February when I wrote him about that. So he thought it was the wisest thing to say that back to me. Well, little did he know that I don't care what the SEC says. And there's another company that the guy was messaging me saying that, "Oh, you guys are going to get in big trouble, all of you." I'm like, bring it on. Let's see. I'm willing to die on the sword for freedom, liberty, and be able to transact the way I want to transact. If I want to freaking trade a cow for a car, I should be able to trade a cow for a car. If I want to, whether it be HEX coin or whatever we chose to trade with, I want to be able to make that choice. I don't want to be forced into FedNow or some other digital currency that the WEF wants me to use. So I will fight this, and I will be on the side of liberty and privacy and all these things. And I'm hoping that Richard Hart sees the same that I see, and I think he does, most of it, right? Most of it, because him and I disagree on FedNow. For some reason, he thinks FedNow is going to be a good thing. But hopefully he comes to the good side on this one and fights these guys, because they're really annoying. And all they want is control. It's all about control. That's the way. Yeah. Well, guys, I am really tired. It's been a real long day. I've got to fight the demons too, and it's not easy sometimes. Thank you for my Patreon. We had a great strategy call today, and we had to bounce each other. We got to bounce ideas off each other, and it was a good old time. A lot of laughs. We were very positive. I think our community is very positive going forward. You have your negative Nancys who just can't handle a negative day or down day. I understand a lot of people still are working their jobs, and they were hoping that Pulsechain was going to give them that freedom, and now their value that they had has gone down by 30%. So they're nervous, worried about their future. I know I'm going to get a couple calls from people, even within my Patreon. They're gonna call all worried, and we kind of knew that the SEC was going to do this. I was just thinking it was going to happen last year when everyone got their little message from the SEC, and nothing came of it. Well, here we go. We're here. Check. Let me see. SEC just trying to flood everyone's bags so that their buddies BlackRock can buy up the dips. Yep, that's how it works. Heard SEC News did not react until I had a chance to listen to the voice of reason in crypto, Mr. Hilarski. Thanks for bringing the calm and the positivity. I just picked up 15 T-shares. Woo-hoo, nice. Hey, Florian. Good to see you, man. SEC is targeting any crypto they find an excuse to keep fun on crypto and will keep going until elections to keep Elizabeth W. and Spandrels happy. It's not just about HEX. Yeah, Elizabeth Warren's a pain in the ass. You're welcome, guys. Almost 300,000 HEX for 1 ETH. Wow, jeez. The good old days. That's how it was back in the day. That's how a lot of us got rich, guys. All right, yes, I'm going to go get some sleep, guys. It's just a mentally exhausting day, and I think many of you understand. You're probably feeling the same way, and it's a full moon. So cheers, everybody. I thank you all. I'll see you Wednesday night.